I come to from outside the parliament. It's day 9 of the winter session of the parliament. After days of a complete washout, finally there's some business happening in the parliament. But of course, today the spotlight is on Maharashtra. What is going to happen in Mumbai? Well, we know 90% of what is going to happen. Yes, Devendra Fadnavis is going to be sworn in as the Chief Minister. He comes back for the third time. This is going to be yet another challenge for him, of course. But he was the expected face of the Mahayuti, given that the BJP alone had 132 seats out of 148 that it fought. But of course, in the last few days, we saw a lot of deliberations that happened. The BJP took it easy. The BJP also sent out feelers to Eknath Shinde, the caretaker Chief Minister of Maharashtra. Today, Ajit Pawar has made it very clear that he is also going to be sworn in as the Deputy Chief Minister, while there needs to be some more clarity as to who from the Eknath Shinde camp will be sworn in. What we know from our BJP sources is that all cabinet portfolios from the BJP side have been in some ways finalized, and that happened in the conversation, in the meeting that Ajit Pawar and Eknath Shinde had with Amit Shah a few days ago in the national capital. Let me go across to my colleague Anuj Raite before I bring in my guest. Anuj, what is expected today? And Azad Maidan, a big oath-taking ceremony. It's going to be, it's going to be a statement that the BJP will make, and of course the Mahayuti will also be part of this. Tell us what can we expect today?
This entire event is orchestrated in a way to make a big statement, to highlight or to symbolize the huge victory that the Mahayuti government got, just 10 days ago on the 23rd of last month. And it hasn't been the easiest ride for the Bharatiya Janata Party-led Mahayuti since then, be it about naming their cabinet ministers or especially about their chief ministerial faces. But they seem to have made no compromises on both these fronts. Bharatiya Janata Party has gone ahead with naming their own leader here in the state as the chief ministerial candidate, and more importantly, this time around they will be taking a lion's share when it comes to cabinet ministerial berths. Maharashtra can have as many as 43 cabinet ministerial berths. It may not necessarily reach that number, but that is the max cap. And out of these many, I know a majority of them are expected to be with the Bharatiya Janata Party. And Amit Shah, Home Minister Amit Shah, has personally looked into the applications sent by different parties, be it NCP, be it Shiv Sena, on whose name is to be cleared for cabinet ministry. We've seen that in the last 10 days, when of course a lot of chatter was going in Mumbai regarding the chief ministerial face, and of course about Eknath Shinde's absence from the city and him going to Satara. But at the same time, Amit Shah has been personally looking into the ministerial candidates and the applications which have come through him.
Right. Thank you, Anuj. We'll be tracking that story thanks to you very closely. Let me bring in my guest, Shaina NC, who's been a BJP spokesperson, also somebody who fought a very spirited battle this time from the Mumbai Devi seat. And we also have Amitabh Tiwari, political analyst and author. Thank you, both of you, for joining me today. And also, good morning to you. Shaina, tell us, what can we expect today? And of course, there was a lot of banter, there was a lot of laughter yesterday in the press conference. There was a show of unity, there was a show of cordiality, but of course, there is a certain sense that, Eknath Shinde might not be completely happy, given that he's not going to be the chief minister anymore. And he was, of course, the face of the welfare scheme. But also, it's understandable that the BJP has the numbers right now. How do you see this? How do you see Devendra Fadnavis facing not just these challenges, but also navigating what really Maharashtra expects from him, considering that there are expectations on the investment front, on the fiscal prudence front, and also social welfare?
So Devendra Fadnavis I have worked with for a long, long time, and he is an extremely well-read leader who works, executes, and goes into micro details. So best wishes to him. As far as Eknath Shinde ji is concerned, we all know that in 2.5 years, how he brought Maharashtra on track. The victory from Lok Sabha to Assembly elections is known to one and all, whether it's the Manya Mukhyamantri Ladki Behna Yojana, or the fact that, women have voted in such large numbers, Vasudha. 2.5 crore households getting 7,500 each in their bank account has been a game changer for this election. So obviously, you have a common man who is a mass leader on the one hand, and who has sacrificed not just for the state, but has always believed that there should never be lust for power, but work towards improvement of a better Maharashtra, which has been the lakshya of Eknath Shinde ji. So I think there is no tussle as is being portrayed by the media. We have always said that it's the Mahayuti leadership that will decide who should become Chief Minister. And I'm glad that Eknath Shinde ji is accepting to be Deputy CM, and today is the swearing in, because it's in the interest of Maharashtra that all three leaders work in tandem. And that has always been the case, contrary to what the media reported. Eknath Shinde ji always said that it is going to be the Mahayuti leadership that decides, and we will work for the welfare of the state.
Absolutely. Shaina, let me bring in Amitabh Tiwari here. Amitabh, we know that this time Mahayuti, of course, cracked this election like nobody else. Like, there's a landslide, unprecedented victory that Mahayuti saw. But of course, there are other elections coming up. There are local bodies which are also, queuing up for elections. There's also, Fadnavis also saw these major challenges like farmers' agitation, the Maratha protest. In the times to come, how do you see these challenges really firming up for Devendra Fadnavis and also for the Mahayuti alliance? And how do you see these three people, especially Mr. Fadnavis, navigating these challenges?
No, see, Mr. Fadnavis has been Chief Minister and one of the few Chief Ministers to complete a 5-year term in Maharashtra. So as Shania ji has mentioned, he has the requisite skill sets. He is a perfect blend of, if you see, a core ideology of the BJP and governance. So he has a pro-development, pro-infrastructure image. Now, as we know, Maharashtra is two Maharashtras in a sense. One, which is Western Maharashtra, Thane, Konkan and Mumbai, which is economically advanced or better off than the other regions, and where the focus is going to be on infrastructure development. And the other regions, which is your Vidarbha, Marathwada, and large parts of North Maharashtra, where there is farmer distress and agricultural distress, wherein the government will now have to take up the challenge and take steps to neutralize some of these. The Ladki Bahin Yojana has neutralized some of the stress already, and the government will have to take up these challenges so that it retains the trust of the rural voters as well, because rural Maharashtra has also voted significantly for the Mahayuti. In terms of the future elections, I think what has happened is that the opposition has been significantly weakened by this mandate, because the MVA has not been able to score even more seats than Eknath Shindeji's party. So the opposition is fairly weakened. So for them to regroup and perform well in the very hyper local municipal corporations or the local body elections going forward is going to be a big challenge, because there are already cracks in the MVA appearing, with many in the Shiv Sena UBT calling for going it solo. So the Mahayuti has an advantage in that sense going forward in the local body elections as well. And these three leaders combined now represent various castes and communities, various thought processes, various cohorts also, because Eknath Shindeji, he has risen from the poor ranks, he has good support of women. Devendra Fadnavis has a more urban and has a very good support of the middle class. Maharashtra is a highly urban state, and Ajit Pawar also has appeared as the secular face of the alliance with good backing of the minorities as well. So all of these give the
Shaina,
Mahayuti very heft.
So, of course, they are approaching this from a position of strength. Shaina, NC, from the experience of your own campaign, tell us, how different or unique is, Devendra Fadnavis's own style of governance. You've seen him in the past term of his. Tell us, how is that going to also, bring in some changes to Maharashtra? Because in the last few years, you've seen Maharashtra, slide down in terms of FDI, investment, losing out on several industrial projects. And also on indicators of unemployment and other areas, that there's a time when Maharashtra did much better than this. So, and also on the front of law and order, how much of this do you think Devendra Fadnavis? How much of this do you see him as accomplishing?
Well, I wish Devendra Fadnavis well, and I know that he's a very able administrator, and he will definitely make sure that law and order is a priority issue, as is FDI and foreign direct investment as well as industry growing. But to say that Maharashtra has not grown is wrong, because if you look at the past 2.5 years, Eknath Shinde ji got Toyota into Maharashtra, got many MSMEs as well as small scale industries to prosper in rural Maharashtra. And I agree with what Tiwari ji said, because the fact is there are two Maharashtras. There is an urban Maharashtra and a rural Maharashtra. But if you look at the welfare schemes, if you look at the youth who have benefited through the internship programs, if you look at the farmers who have got direct transfers into their bank accounts, if you look at the pension schemes which have been given to the senior citizens, all the Labhartis, and of course Ladki Behna Yojana was a game changer. So I think to continue that would be only one part of what Mr. Fadnavis as Chief Minister will be doing. But collectively, all three leaders will work towards making sure that Maharashtra is the #1 state and continues to gain its past glory. So having said that, best luck to all three.
Right.
And I think that the chemistry between Ajit Pawar, Eknath Shinde and Devendra Fadnavis has been phenomenal. No dirty linen being washed in public, no comments going back and forth, no blabbering every morning to say that, oh, I will only do this if I am Chief Minister. Everyone has thought of the interest of Maharashtra and respected the voter and the mandate. And the strike rate, Vasudha, has been so phenomenal for all three parties that obviously the cadre is going to expect and want their party to get the maximum, so that in the days ahead, every party grows. So I don't think there's anything wrong in that, in having aspiration, but it is the politics of performance which will continue.
Right. Thank you, Shaina. Also, final word from Amitabh Tiwari. Amitabh, how do you see Mahayuti actually dealing with, this muscle flexing that it really did not play out in the open? We did see Eknath Shinde, in some ways going off to his village, and the optics of it was not really great, but he did not really come out and make any statements against the BJP. And NCP Ajit Pawar was really happy endorsing Devendra Fadnavis. So there was a certain optics of unity that played out. So, when you talk about politics of accommodation and also politics of assertion, is it because the BJP had the numbers on its side that the allies also thought that this is the better way to go for this time?
Yeah, so you used a very two right words, assertion and accommodation. And the BJP has displayed these tactics while managing the allies to agree to the deputy CM positions. See, the "ek hai to safe hai" slogan also applies to the alliance, if you see. See, if they are united, then what happens is that Eknath Shinde ji and Ajit Pawar ji will be able to keep the other Sena and NCP factions under control in check. Correct. And if they are united, then significantly it means that there is no significant opposition in Maharashtra, which will help them to sail through the future elections and also implement the various welfare programs and schemes which they have promised in their manifesto. So they need to be united to bear the fruits of hard work which they have done in the past 2.5 years, and also accomplish the goals, keeping their vote banks and cohorts satisfied and happy.
Right. Thank you, Amitabh Tiwari, for joining us with those insights. Also, thank you, Shaina NC. It's a big day for you. Congratulations. And thank you, all of you, for joining us on this broadcast.